Let's talk about farming for a minute, if we could, please. This is something that I want to have my friend Will Westmoreland on my live to talk about. Once my hectic month of May calms down, I'll work on having him on. But I want to read you something from Facebook dealing with Illinois farmers and Illinois agriculture, and then we're going to talk about it. Illinois farmers are sounding the alarm as family farms across the state continue feeling squeezed by rising costs, foreign food imports, massive warehouse projects, and nonstop suburban expansion creeping deeper into farmland surrounding Chicago and beyond. For generations, Illinois farmland helped feed the Midwest. From endless cornfields near DeKalb to soybean farms outside Joliet to dairy barns, pumpkin patches, and small family owned farms stretching across rural Illinois, farming has always been part of the heartbeat of this state. But now many local farmers say they're watching valuable farmland slowly disappear under concrete, distribution centers, luxury subdivisions, and industrial development spreading farther outside the city every year. One Illinois farmer reportedly said, "People drive past these fields every day and think they'll always be here, until suddenly they're gone and replaced with another warehouse." And honestly, people across Chicago are starting to notice it too. The same roads where families used to stop for sweet corn stands, apple cider, fresh tomatoes, pumpkins, and homemade pies are now surrounded by giant logistics buildings and endless construction signs. Meanwhile, grocery prices keep climbing, yet many small farmers say they're barely staying afloat. Now, voices across Illinois are growing louder. Support Illinois farmers. Support local food. Support the families still working the land before farmland disappears forever. Because once the farms are gone, they're not coming back. And deep down, a lot of Chicagoans know life just feels different without those weekend drives past open fields, roadside farm stands, county fairs, fresh donuts, and small towns that made Illinois feel like home. It isn't just about farming anymore. It's about protecting a piece of Midwest culture before it turns into another parking lot. And you can see all of the various hashtags and then this sign. Chicago does not need to buy from any food from China. Chicago needs to back Chicago farmers. I'm assuming they meant Illinois farmers since there aren't really any Chicago farmers. It's not a thing in the city of Chicago. But I just want to point out a couple of things. First and foremost, Illinois ranks as one of the top 3 agricultural exporting states in the U.S., typically shipping between 8.2 and 12.5 billion in ag commodities abroad, which makes up for about 6% of all U.S. ag exports. When evaluating the volume of crops grown, approximately 44% of all grain, specifically corn and soybeans, which is something Illinois is well known for, is sold to international markets. 44%. The overall proportions can vary by crop, with some estimates indicating that up to 50% of corn and 60% of soybeans leave the country. So it's kind of a mixed message. Hey, you guys aren't supporting our farmers. Well, the farmers are shipping half their shit overseas. And I get why they do it. That's where the market is. That's what they need to do to make a buck. But it seems kind of counterproductive to bitch and moan that people in Illinois aren't buying Illinois ag products when over half of Illinois' ag products, in many cases, are being shipped overseas. But more to the point, these farmers keep seeing valuable farmland underneath new warehouses, underneath new this, underneath new construction sites. At the end of the day, that doesn't happen unless the farmers sell their land. Now, if the farmer goes under and it's no choice through no choice of their own, through no fault of their own, they want to stay in business, but they can't financially, and so they go under, and somebody buys up their land and puts a warehouse on it. That's a different story. But around here in the far southwest suburbs, that's not the case. The case is more often than not, these farmers are selling their land to these. I talk about it all the time. There's a local family farm that people love. We love them. They had a farm right across the highway. I'm right up against the frontage road, I-55 South. They had a big farm right across the highway. All of a sudden, their farm was gone and an Amazon distribution center went up, and everybody in town lost their ever-loving minds. How could the town do this to us? How could the town do this to you? The town couldn't approve that fucking warehouse if it wasn't for the family that sold it to Amazon. Nobody wants to say a word to the farmers that sell their land to these distribution centers and cash out and run. And listen, I'm not blaming them. They're getting millions of dollars for their land. They're struggling and busting their ass trying to grow products that it depends on who's president they can or can't ship to China. Meanwhile, some company comes in and says, we'll give you $22 million for the land. Gone. And now they're way out west with a new farm, and they've cashed in selling this farm. But nobody ever wants to talk about that family. They only want to bitch at the village. They want to bitch at Amazon. They want to bitch at everybody who supports growth. You can complain about Illinois not supporting Illinois farmers all you want, but if Illinois farmers are selling their land to the development companies and over half of the key products in the state are being exported, then you don't get the bitch. I'm sorry, that's not how this works.